Waiting for the machine to start up, and there it goes. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Thursday, January 16th, 2020. It's 9:52 a.m. here in the Arizona desert. I believe Bitcoin is having a nice organic uptrend here in 2020 as we start the year. And now we're beginning to see a bit of a retrace, I think, which is essential to prove this is truly organic, that we're not just whale pump and dumping. So we're seeing a retrace starting, and I think it's a positive thing. And of course, by the time we look at it, maybe it'll be pumping again. But I think we're hitting 2020 very healthy. So with that said, yes, we are down 1.68%, coming in at 8,662, and I think that's really good. A bit of a red day in the market, but we still have plenty of alts that are really pumping, like NAV, Zen, Rep, and ENJ, TNT. Actually, ETC, not ETH, but ETC is still rocking. So we still have alts that are really moving well, that are still uptrending, even if Bitcoin's beginning to see a slight downtrend, a slight retracement, which is essential. And I like that because it is showing that maybe in 2020 we're starting to see the alt market and Bitcoin be slightly disconnected regardless of where the dominance might be. We're at 66% dominance right now. Hey, not bad. With that said, something very important to note is 2.44 billion tether into Bitcoin. So we're still rocking tether into Bitcoin. We're still rocking new money into Bitcoin, or at least rocking tether into Bitcoin wherever it came from. And with that said, we're starting to decline just a little bit, but we still have massive volume as far as tether into Bitcoin. This is a good thing, and I'm glad to see it decreasing slightly. What does really make me happy is to see tether into Ethereum at 1.2 billion. Look, regardless of what one may think of Ethereum, I know this is the Bitcoin Daily View, but Ethereum is really important. It's one of the top players. It is number 2 to Bitcoin, of course, and I think do not be surprised if in the beginning of 2020, with Bitcoin doing this well, and also we're seeing so much tether into Ethereum and so much volume. Look, Ethereum is the smart contract monster for international trade. And I know that's kind of a statement. How can I back it up? Well, look at the news. Watch what's going on. It is a standard, and I think we're going to see it for more and more. We're going to see international trade, talking about tankers full of grain, tankers full of beans, tankers full of oranges and oil. Between countries, we will see the smart contracts in Ethereum really utilized. It is important. So watch the news. I think you'll see this happen. So note that now that Bitcoin has taken off, Ethereum has also taken off, and it actually seems to be sustaining more volume in Tether than Bitcoin at this time. So note that. With that said, real market cap for Bitcoin is 156 billion. Real volume, we're under a billion now at 908 million. Good. We gotta have a bit of a retrace, or this is not organic. So I wanted to show this to you. I know the MACD, many say it's about abacuses and slide rules and looking at the stars and trading chickens. I understand, but regardless, it is a sentiment indicator if nothing else. Many people do trade in and out of the daily MACD on Bitcoin, and some also do trade in and out of the weekly MACD. So with that said, the weekly MACD is about to turn positive. Basically, it's already turned positive. The histogram's already going in the right direction. The blue line, the MACD, is about to cross the red line, the signal. So, of course, things could change before this video is even over. It could start to go the other way. But right now, we are heading towards a positive switch on the MACD for Bitcoin. Now with that said, we have this long upwards channel. Some have thought, are we in this or are we in this downwards channel? I want to note this is a pattern that I saw Crypto Love talking about, and I think it's spot on. Well, we have been in a downwards channel, no denying that, but if we break above that this week, which we have, especially if next week we start with the body of that, with the body of the candle above this downtrend and the MACD crosses positive on the weekly, boom! Like the MACD or not, think it's valid or not, we're going to see some gains, I think, when that happens. Not financial advice, of course, entertainment purposes only, but that's what I think is going to happen. With that said, just look at the last time the MACD crossed. And I kind of thought, well, let's take a look at this. Let's say, you saw the MACD cross back here, but you're like, well, let me get some confirmation, because sometimes you can sort of jitter like it is here. You don't exactly know what it's going to do. So you see it cross and you go, let me just be sure, let me make sure, okay. See some real good gains happening here. So you're getting right about here, on that weekly candle. You're thinking, okay, I believe we've crossed positive. And all you did was hang out, and you missed some of these, all-time highs, well, the highs of that pump, basically. And you got out about here. You're like, oh, okay, the MACD has crossed negative, and it's going to stay negative. I'll get out here. you would have made 120%. So even really, let's say you didn't even play it as well as that, you made 100%. I mean, something to think about. These MACD crosses are powerful, and we're moving into one. And sentiment is good. We're breaking out of this downwards channel we've been in. So 2020 is starting powerful. Note this, do not miss that change. Definitely be watching at this time for that MACD to touch that signal. I think we're going to see some action when that happens. Also, here's a daily long downwards channel. Now, if you do note, we're having a hard time getting out of that. But looking at the directional index, the ADX is at 25. That's good. We want it to be above 25 to be healthy. And the directional indicator is turning darker and darker and brighter green. So good. Daily is looking good for Bitcoin. And also, okay, this downwards channel, they're a matter of opinion. You know, that's the way I drew it, and I think we're bouncing off it. I think we're finding some resistance there. But note right here, this 200 moving average at $9,000, $9,084, $9,100. If we cross that 200 moving average on the daily, along with that weekly MACD turning positive and getting out of this downwards channel on the weekly, guys, public sentiment, I think, is going to start really. Your friends will be asking you, hey, this Bitcoin thing, you know. So be ready for this. Do not miss this moment in history. With that said, okay, the MACD on the daily is positive and has been positive. We are, of course, below the 200 moving average, which is always some downward pressure on the daily. But if we can break through it, well, we are setting up for that. Be ready. Now, about the retracement. So we had this massive pump. Boom, right? Well, almost 10%. It's not that massive for Bitcoin, but still, we had it. And if we look right where we're hanging, we gained amazing VPVR volume around, well, like, you know, 8,700 to, well, around 8,700, right in there, all throughout the 8,700 range. We have massive buy-sell volume. And if you look, we're a little bit below that now. We're definitely, you know, a percent or two down from there. But we're hanging out at this this .236 fib level. See, now we're starting to bounce off that. We're finding support and resistance there. Well, you know, if we pumped up here, and this is the top of the pump, and I adjusted this, I actually moved the fib a little bit to match where the price actions really are happening. And of course, this is a 45-minute chart, but this pump's not been happening that long. So I just think that, here, look, here's the top, and now we're down to the 236. And, you know, I think it's not going to be too long before we're playing with the 382 and the .5 and the 618. I mean, if this pump follows, I think, any kind of, you know, natural sanity, natural, you know, or organic rhythm, basically, I think it's going to be something like that at least. You know, and we'll continue up. It's all about what fib level are we going to retrace to and continue moving up or go sideways at. So if you're a hodler, you don't care. But if you are looking to get a new position as far as a long, well, I would really be watching at this time to see which fib level are we going to retrace to. It's healthy. It is good. One thing is, this is a 45-minute chart, I know, but look at this DI, directional index, powerful green, but now we're very, very weak and we're leaning into the red. So with that said, I think we can also look at the chart here and we can see, yes, we're starting to turn around. This retracement is natural. It's essential. So, hey, I mean, of course, it might just pump like while I'm doing this, but let's just watch this, you know, .382, the .5, the .618. I think somewhere in there we're going to see some sideways action and we're going to see Bitcoin continue to move up. So if you want to squeeze that extra percent, well, wait for the bounce and wait for the confirmed uptrend after that. We shall see. We really are still big picture. This is kind of, you know, we pumped and we're sideways. Hey, I'm a member of Blockchain Education. You should be too. Calls. I'm only going to show you these. These are old calls from 10 days ago. But as you can see, look, you can you can log into the hybrid trading system and you can get auto entered, or you can do it manually when you see the calls come up. And this is how I make a lot of money all year, because no matter what Bitcoin's doing, whether it's alt season or not, there are coins making money. And Blockchain Education has an amazing way that it finds those and then the calls get put out. Also, you learn how they do it. And so I can find my own calls, but I just get auto entered in and I grab however many percent that I have selected, because you can say sell at this percent or this percent or this percent, and I make money while I'm traveling and things like that. So hey, Blockchain Education, check it out. It's an affiliate link. Hop in, join, check it out. Because not only, yes, there are calls like this that you can get involved in. You can do the hybrid system and make money. But with that said, you learn how they do it, and you learn from pros. When you're there in the chat, which is on 24/7, you can collaborate with people who do this stuff for a living, and they make money. And I personally don't follow anybody's advice or anybody's training who isn't rich. So if you're not making money, if you haven't proved you can do it, which Blockchain Education has, then I'm not going to listen. This is where I listen, and this is why I make money. With that said, Bitcoin's about way more than just the price action to me. It is the peaceful revolution. Here's a book. It's in the show notes, The Sovereign Individual. If you want to get into why is Bitcoin this, why is the future really, really amazing, this guy is a financial genius. He's an historian. He makes a case for why the information age is this and why cryptocurrencies are essential in that, and the future is really, really, really rocking. If you like listening to me banter about things, go over to Radiant Creators or click the link in the show notes. Just interviewed Thomas Sheridan. We talk about cultivating wildness in the 21st century. And you know what? That wildness we talked about is this wildness. It's part of a peaceful revolution. It's why I'm here. It's why I believe in Bitcoin. It's why I show up every day. You are a warrior if you're a part of this. I'm glad to see you here. Obstacles can't stop you. Weather can't stop you. Heartbreak can't stop you. Failure can't stop you. Only you can stop you. And I'll see you again tomorrow.